so good at rapping. I was making my dad watch videos that he had no interest in watching last night. And yeah, this man just like
Your dad has good taste. He knows what's up. Yo, I'm Samuel Sarfo,
I'm Adam Dash.
and welcome to the Sound Centric podcast. And after a couple weeks now that Mr. Morale, the big stuff, has finally dropped, I guess we finally got what we wanted. This is kind of, I guess, almost a dipping point, maybe, or maybe a new beginning for Kendrick in the PG Lang era. But this is, I think, encapsulated with his 5 projects from Section 80 till now, his run.
Yes.
And some people say this might be the greatest hip hop run of all time. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, first, what was the tweet I sent to you? Who did I say? Oh, Post Malone to keep the same energy. About Jack Harlow. And now you're saying Kendrick's not even. Jack Harlow's still in that top 10, and Kendrick is out of it. Obviously, that does not mean about the importance of the album, but it is interesting to see that my prediction was right. Not to pat myself on the back. I think everyone could have seen it coming that like this wasn't the mainstream album he's made before, especially not Damn, which was the last project. Is this the greatest run in hip hop history? I don't think you could angrily argue against it. Like he just has too many fucking classic albums. And I want to say yes. I want to say yes. This is the greatest run in hip hop history. I think the example you talked about this a couple episodes about like how he's bigger than Drake low key. And I think that is like a testament to how great he is, that although he doesn't drop with the consistency, when he does drop, it is all eyes on him. It is every media outlet talking about Kendrick Lamar, and the whole world stops for Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
I mean, Section 80, incredible project. Low-key J. Cole production on there, on high power.
Shout out to J. Cole.
Shout out Cole. You have Good Kid, Mad City, one of the best conceptual albums of all time, just personal storytelling. Then you go on to Pimp a Butterfly. So now you're talking about one of the best, if not the best, political statement album of all time. And a lot of artists could have done what he did, where it's a whole poem, and at the end of the album, you find out he's talking to Tupac, and it could be really corny. It could have been really, really easy for Kendrick Lamar to screw that up.
Yeah.
But I think he perfected it where everyone's like, what? Like, this was a whole thing with Tupac at the end. Maybe it's because he gets a little bit of the Kendrick Lamar leeway, but that was dope. Then you go into Damn, which is something that's more poppy, but it isn't. Like he just happens to find melodies that everyone connects to. That song like Yeah isn't like a normal pop like rap hit, but it is so catchy that we call it now something that's more poppy. And then obviously going to this album, his most personal to date. I think it's fair to say he is the best hip hop run ever. What do you think?
Yo, I'm actually so surprised. This is the second time you gassed up Ya. And let me tell you,
I really like that song.
Bro, I'm like the only person who likes Ya. No one else likes Ya. But like I'm really into I love reggae. I love Afro beats. It's like Bob Marley style reggae. So I love it so much.
I love that shit.
Yahweh. So you said a certified yes, 100%.
I'm not gonna say. I'm curious. So the other artists I would bring up, and I'm definitely gonna forget some people. We obviously from this generation have to say Tyler the Creator. This 3-album run is crazy.
Okay. It's just 3 though.
3. Yeah, I know. I'm not saying it's the greatest ever, but I think there's some people we have to pay some respect to.
For sure.
3 Grammys in a row. Someone, I think it's low key, Mac Miller.
Okay.
I mean, think we got going from back to front with Circles, Swimming, Divine Feminine, Good AM, Faces, watching movies. That's not a single bad album. That's like 6 in a row.
Yeah.
So I think that run deserves some appreciation. And apparently there's albums in the tuck that his brother has. And we all know that the Mac Miller family has handled posthumous albums better than any other families has ever done. So I have faith in them that maybe we'll get some more music and it'll be something that the family finds right. But who else did you have in mind?
For me at least, I appreciate what you said when you're like, we need to give flowers to people now. It's kind of like the LeBron debate. It's kind of like LeBron, no matter what he does, he could win like 3 rings. He could win 10 rings from now, and he's never going to be better than Jordan. Like, we will never give flowers to the new school because we already have the established legendary old school. As of right now, maybe, okay, I'll give flowers to Tyler, but I still think he has more to go. His career just obviously not started, but I'm talking about starting to be in that icon position. it just started. Because obviously, at previous projects, don't forget about Goblin.
Yeah.
We ain't bumping no Goblin.
But
So it just was, yeah.
to be fair, those albums aren't bad. They're just way different than what he's doing now.
You
Like,
bumping Goblin? You eat crickets?
there's songs on that album. Ah, fuck that dude, Yonkers is fire. Don't rip on Yonkers. There are songs in the album that, like, you could see that he was, like, really good at production. Like, he was rapping
Mhm.
about such gross things over such beautiful, like, instrumentals.
Yeah.
Um, so I think, like, you could kinda see it coming. Like, I wasn't surprised by Flower Boy as and I'm sure other diehard fans weren't that surprised, especially when you have songs like that were on Cherry Bomb. That's you could see it
Mhm.
was slowly coming.
It was, and I think apart from Tyler, and I put an asterisk by his name because it's just 3. I need more. I need a lot more.
Mhm.
Kendrick is definitely one up, but he's definitely not the for me.
Okay.
You might hate my take on this, but I'm taking M's run
I knew you were gonna say that.
over Kendrick's, and honestly, I could throw in Eminem has 2 runs. I could say his initial prime, 1999 to 2004. That's a whole last run. Of course, Encore is a little bit lukewarm,
Yeah,
but
so
again, 1, it leaked, and 2,
yeah.
because it leaked, he was burnt out from 8 Mile and Eminem show. He just didn't care, and he just threw out trash
Yeah.
out there.
I didn't know that till I saw that on Twitter recently that there was, like, a
Mhm.
couple of songs he took off and, like, threw in, I think it was, like, Rain Man, and songs that you
Yeah.
could see that were obviously, like, just, like, childish songs.
Exactly, and that should have been a 4th classic, and that's the thing with artists, why although discography is important, I don't emphasize it because it's a choice. Kendrick could have made a good Kid Mad City 2 or like a album like Heart Part
Uh-huh.
5, and everyone would have loved it, but instead he said, "Nah, I wanna make a personal album with therapy and all that,"
Yeah.
and
I
there's no
think
denying Kendrick's run, you know?
yeah, and I think
Mhm,
for Kendrick, that could be true. But I think we say that a lot of times about artists, like, "Oh, if they
mhm.
wanted to, they can make that." I don't know if they can. Like, I don't know if like I'm not sure it's not always hard to just capture a moment like that in, like, time. Like, you can think you're barring out, and the people in the studio, everyone's gassing you up, you're Kendrick Lamar, and then you
Mhm.
can drop, and everyone's like, "Eh." I don't think that would ever happen to Kendrick, but let's say someone
Yeah.
like, people are like, "Oh, Joey, like, you don't think you're fucking with him?" Like, "Dude, he can drop a classic rap album right now." Well, I guess
But that's Joey.
we'll see in a month if he can just, like, go back to barring out or if that type of rap has lost its esteem and people we'll see if people even care about that.
Mhm. People
Um,
do definitely use that as an excuse, but I think it's obvious when you know it is an excuse. Like
yeah,
Joey's not Kendrick. Although Joey is incredible, he's not Kendrick. And from this generation, I think Kendrick is one of, but to me, still have M with that run. And he also had his run from 2009
yeah.
to with like relapse, crack a bottle, all that forever to not
Yeah.
to like
I mean, I wouldn't compare
recovery. You know,
that part of the run to Kendrick, but
Mhm.
that is still a run in general.
Exactly, and
It's a
that's the second
jog.
part of his career, man.
It's a light
It wasn't
jog.
even his prime. That was bro, he came back, he almost died from an overdose. Came
Yeah,
back and clapped Drake, Wayne, and Kanye with no
true.
problem, you know?
But,
And I just feel like
Drake said
Kendrick too.
first
Yeah,
name ever, last name great.
exactly, and I think Kendrick
Bar.
too, a big thing is he's not, as involved compared to Drake and now Cole with all the features. He's
Uh-huh.
really a recluse, so you don't get to see him a lot. Even features like you know what I mean? I need to add all this
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
in, you know? But again, Outkast, Tribe would be up there.
yeah.
I don't know. There'd be
I
a lot,
mean,
honestly.
to throw in one, and we were just talking about this man before we started recording. Yeah, I throw my boy,
Mhm.
Freddie Cocaine Gibbs. He's on a
Mm.
legendary run, and
Okay, stop, bro. Stop, bro.
nah,
Okay, he has good back-to-back albums, but I wouldn't call
no,
that
he
a
doesn't.
run. A
What do
run
you
means
mean?
you're leading the rap game.
He had
For you to
Pinata
say someone has man, stop, bro.
bro, come he's a leader of that style of rap. Bro, you don't get nominated Grammys for the shit he's rapping about. That doesn't happen unless
One Grammy nom as a run.
bro, yeah, he used Alfredo,
Okay,
you got Bandana, Pinata,
and
then you
that's
got
the end of the
albums
run.
no,
That
and then
wasn't a run though. He dropped
there's
albums in
albums
between.
yeah, and they're great albums. You got Freddie
Okay,
with,
about
Kenny Beats. I don't know, we're about to see SSS, I'm hoping it's as good as I want it to be. I don't know why you're hating on Freddie, that
I'm not hating. I'm just messing, but I wouldn't call that a run. It's a great
"My name is cocaine, they
discography.
won't put me in the nominees."
Man,
Um,
he just saw Freddie at Live Nation. That's why he's
nah,
gassing him up
Roots
so
Picnic.
much. Yeah,
I
at the
mean,
Roots picnic.
he's dude, he's so good at rapping. I was making my dad watch videos that he had no interest in
Mhm.
watching last night, and yeah, this man just like
Your dad has good taste. He knows what's up.
um, I'm trying to think of some other art. Tribe was a great example in Outkast
Mhm,
that I was blanking. Obviously, Jay-Z had some duds in the middle of it. Not duds, but
mhm.
like duds for Jay-Z in the middle
Yeah.
of that run. I guess a lot of these '90s rappers. I mean, I'm not the biggest Lil Wayne guy,
Mhm,
But you're a big Lil Wayne guy. I guess there was bad
mhm.
albums in the middle. I don't know his full
Nah, his was
discography,
a
like
run. Bro, when you say the word
oh,
run,
wait.
it needs to be a run.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot the best run ever. Kanye West. I take back, not Kendrick
That's
Lamar.
another run.
No,
But for
no,
you to
it's
run,
wait, wait,
you
wait.
have to be number 1.
Let's take it back. This whole
Okay.
conversation, it's Kanye West easily. I'm sorry, Kendrick.
Um,
Oh my god, his whole career's a run.
yeah, Kanye and,
What? There
M.
wasn't a bad album till 2020. That's the craziest run.
That's fair,
Craziest
but
run ever. Let's stop let's end it. It's
and then
Kanye.
alright, we'll see you guys later.
How you
No,
gonna
okay,
bro, how you gonna argue against Kanye West?
he's definitely top 2, I'll say that. It's
And
a
you
toss-up
think
because it's a factor of, like, how big you are, the popularity, what you're putting
okay, and he
out,
had
what
that.
you don't miss.
So let's just debate because you're debating Eminem in your head. That's who
Okay,
you're thinking of? Alright.
because he was just so
Because
big,
M's
and Wayne, I'm putting
yes.
Wayne in there too.
Alright. M's you just said it was 3 to 4 albums, right? You're including Encore in the run or not in the run?
And
Either way you
let's
do, Kanye's
okay,
run is still longer
yeah.
and more successful. Maybe not sales wise. Obviously, Eminem's still selling crazy, but dude, it's Kanye. It's Kanye. Emin
Probably.
Eminem is very. Um, he inspired a whole generation of like obviously Kendrick Lamar, J
Mhm,
Cole, all these rappers,
mhm.
but like very specific. I don't know. Kanye influenced everyone, and
He did.
obviously,
It's yeah.
I think it's got to be Mr. West. Kid Cudi had a good run in the beginning of his career.
Nah, I don't give him a run. I wouldn't
I'm
call
not
it a
I'm
run.
not comparing that to Kanye West,
Mhm,
but I'm just trying to think of more artists. But I think it's gotta be Kanye. That man.
probably. The first 5 are pretty hard to beat, honestly. But you have to remember when
Well, the
808s
first single
dropped, it was low-key seen as lukewarm because everyone hated the
what
autotune, and then it
when what
became this
dropped? 808s?
classic.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine. We're talking
Mhm.
about this 12, 13 years past.
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's fine. Then you got Yeezus is such a good album. Then
Mhm.
you got The Life of Pablo, incredible album. Yay, Kids See Ghost. Mm,
I wouldn't call those runs, though.
why?
Maybe my definition is different from run. You're looking at a discography just because you go back to back to back to good albums or great albums,
Yeah, it's not a run,
to
it's a
me, it's not a run.
marathon.
Shut shut up. To me, it's just like you are a run is you were number 1 for consecutive years,
I
and
mean,
you're also making
Kanye
hype and
was
all that.
The only reason Kanye you could say it's 2 runs is because he got up on stage and said some shit about Taylor Swift. Okay, so let's divide it before My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy
Mhm.
as, like, the run. Those are still the 2 best careers I've ever seen in
Yeah, I
rap
get
music
it, but
ever.
he to me has 2 runs. His first 3, then it ends because Lil Wayne becomes number 1, and then Kanye comes back with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Watch the
Okay.
Throne, and Cruel Summer. So that's a run because he was number 1 from that period. You see what I'm saying?
Bro, he was still number 1 with Ye and Kids See Ghost and The Life of
Man,
Pablo.
we ain't talking about those albums when he needed to go to
He
therapy at that time.
Bro,
This
no,
is not
he
run,
was
bro.
bro,
He's
yes,
went
it
to
is.
therapy, bro.
Bro, he was running the game. I remember on SNL when he did an Ultra Light Beam with Chance, that was crazy.
It
The whole
was
world was waiting.
crazy. I just wouldn't consider it a run though. That's the thing. I use that word carefully. Run means you need to be running the game.
Bro,
Just
he
because
was
you dropped a great album doesn't mean you're running the game. At that time was that 2015, so you had Chance, you had Cole, you had Kendrick drop to Pimp a Butterfly 2015.
yeah.
2016, 2015. Yeah, you had Frank Ocean drop Blonde. You know, there's a lot. Beyonce too. Like, there's just a lot going on. You
I'm
gotta
trying to
be
think some
running
other
the
people.
game.
I mean, like, uh, this won't fit your definition of run, but I mean, like, I like Chance's run of 10-day acid rap
Man, this guy, bro, I can't talk to this guy no more.
and Coloring Book. I listened to Coloring Book a couple weeks ago. I forgot how amazing it is. It's a great album.
That's incredible, but it's just not a
No,
run.
I know what you mean. But Freddie Gibbs, if we're going by like top of the game, if you go to Complex, like their
Mhm.
like rapper of the year, I think he's been like top 3 years in a row. Like
Ah,
he's always up
that's
there.
cap. That was a major cap. He's been once, and
Really?
I think that was for Bandana.
No,
Yeah.
he definitely got it
Um.
for Alfredo. There's no way they didn't give it to him.
Oh no, it was actually for Alfredo. Not. I think they picked like the baby or something, or something like that. They picked the baby, and
Not
everyone
saying
was
who
mad.
won their
Uh
person
huh.
of the year, but who was like they do a top 3 or
Okay.
something.
Yep. Yep. Okay. Fair enough.
Um,
Okay. Big question for you.
okay.
Now, after looking at Kendrick's whole career, and again, this is the tipping point because you don't know where he's going to go from after this, but where does Kendrick rank for you? Is he top 10? Is he somewhere around there?
For my
What's up with
personal
that?
enjoyment, or how do I think
Mhm.
he ranks in general?
Ooh. I want you to be as objective as possible.
All right, objective as possible, he's a top 5 rapper.
Damn.
Discography wise, I
No,
mean,
yeah, also.
Easy.
Your best is a top 5, period.
Easy. I'm someone
Mhm,
who tends to like to fall in love with people and get really obsessed with them, and definitely in different
mhm,
stages. So although, because like I don't know, I waited 5 years for Kendrick to release music, I fell in love with a lot of artists in between that 5 years,
mhm.
and then he drops an album that I'm personally not gonna re-listen to that much as of now. So
Say
like,
it. Say it with your chest, bro. What album
I
is that?
his new album I do not like that much. That's as stern stern as I'll give it.
Boo.
But then there's people like obviously JID is not as solidified as Kendrick Lamar. But in those 5 years, like I don't know, I met JID, I've seen albums come out by him, features. So like people like Smino, I'm just recently an obsession with Freddie Gibbs. So those people I rank my personal favorite above him as
Mhm,
of right now. But
mhm.
like I don't know, if I listen to Pimp a Butterfly one day, I'm like, ah yeah, this guy's my top two to call on him. So it
Oh,
goes back and forth. But I think he's
yeah.
easily top five
Yeah, I
ever.
think for me, he's definitely, top 10, somewhere in there. I wouldn't say 5 because it's hard for me to admit that. I know again, if Kendrick would have gone the direction that I was hoping he would for this album, smoking on top 5s. I mean, you can't say smoking on top
Yeah,
5s.
I know.
I mean, I guess you can, then you drop an album and it's like, "I want everything. My
Yeah.
solo mother, I'm so"
No,
and I'm like,
I
"No,
agree. I feel
I
that.
love that's a great song," but it's like, I want it smoking on top 5s, you know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
And that verse
So,
still
yeah.
sucks. I'm not a f
Stop.
I'm
Oh
not a
my
fan.
god.
Wait,
Get
this
this
is
guy out of here.
this is random. Have you heard the song "Hooligan" by Baby Keem?
Yeah, I've heard it once,
After
but
this,
it was on
re-listen to
the
it. Yeah, that
blue, the
shit's
baby blue, whatever.
so good. I've been
Dude, I
bumping
can't
that.
I'm not I need to get
I'm on a
used to Baby Keem,
I'm
I'm
on a
really
no,
not I
this is not like a Baby Keem type song. Like, it's
mhm,
more like melodic. I'll send it to you after. It's really good. But,
okay. Oh, this was on the bonus, right? It
yeah, it's
wasn't
on
on
the
the actual
bonus.
Yep, I heard it. My yeah, yep.
Um, but I think it's hard. I mean, it's interesting when we compare people's top fives and we're like, he hasn't been around long enough, but then everyone will have Biggie in their top five. I think he
Mhm,
is. But he only has 2 albums out. So it's like a lot of these artists who tragically passed away early, like, didn't have the time to make
mhm,
a bad album where we're like, "Oh, Biggie released that album, like, that wasn't even
mhm,
good." It's like one of those things where people in, like, NBA debate, they're like, LeBron James is better off not even going to the finals if he was gonna lose because then his
mm.
finals record is worse, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So some people are like, "Thank God he didn't even go." Like, good thing Giannis didn't make it this year because then he would have been 1 and 1 in the finals instead of
yeah,
yeah. So I think, like, there's certain artists who they obviously didn't benefit. They sadly
mhm.
passed away, but their careers benefit from not having duds in their track record just because they weren't around to have those duds. If that
So,
makes sense.
who's in your, give me your top 5 or top 10. Just you can name as many, but the cap is 10.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain people that, like, I'm personally not always listening to. Obviously,
Mhm,
legend, Tupac Shakur. I'm not
mhm,
bumping Pac that much, but he
mhm,
has to, like, I just know hip hop, like, I know he's top
mhm,
5.
mhm,
So there's certain people like that. Let me think. He's Big, Pac,
mhm.
Jay, Kendrick, M. I
Okay.
think that sounds like a good 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
that's fine.
me, it's, that's pretty good. For me, it's, I already know it from the top because these rappers I love, but
Yeah.
Pac, Big, and this is no order. Pac, Big, Nas, J, M, Big L, Big Pun, Black Thought, Mos Def, and then probably give me 3K. And that's my top 10.
So, like,
I didn't say Kendrick, did I?
you did not, but I would say, like, I don't know.
He
You're
fits in somewhere. I could kick someone out.
like Big L has 2 albums out, 3 albums
I know.
out.
Technically one. Technically just one,
Yeah, and
honestly.
he wasn't
The
yeah,
rest
wasn't
are
alive for the
opposed.
other one. So I think
But
it's
he was
hard to
so
put him in
good.
there. Andre 3000,
Mhm,
obviously, we all have faith that he could carry a single album himself,
mhm.
but he hasn't. I guess he
Yeah.
did. I guess you could say, what's it? Speaker bot? What's the Love
Yeah, that
Above?
doesn't
Love
count.
Below.
Man, this boy's
Yeah,
singing out here.
like it is half. It is like a full album of just
Mhm.
him, but like it still isn't. Still an Outcast album.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess there's debates for every single person. There's like, yeah, they didn't do
Mhm.
this and they didn't do this, and
Yeah.
like Big Pun's another example of someone who
My
could have had
goodness.
duds had he.
Hey, come on now, bro. We ain't doing
And
that.
Pun's
You know
amazing.
how the conversation is always Pac and Big? For me, it's Big L and Big Pun. I've watched, I've listened to everything they put out. I've watched all their unreleased and freestyle
Yeah.
stuff, bro. They are the two of the greatest rappers I've
I
ever
mean,
heard,
Big L
man.
said, "Ask Beavis, I get nothing but head," and I was like, "God
Yeah,
damn,
I
this
mean,
man is
yeah,
different."
different
Um,
different levels.
but yeah, I mean, they're fucking great. I mean, I'm someone like Mac Miller, is someone that I think could have become one
Mhm.
of the just such a good artist. The direction he was heading was like so different, and it's just like his discography, in my opinion, is so great. So that's someone I'm sad about
Yeah.
not seeing.
Last question for you, and then we'll wrap this
Yeah.
up. How would you rank Kendrick's Big Five, starting from Section 80? till now.
Okay.
And I'm very interested on where you would put Mr. Morales. It's probably gonna be last, honestly, but we'll see.
To Pimp a Butterfly,
Mhm.
you see it. You see it behind me.
Yeah, we see it, we see it.
Yeah, like, it always has my cleaning lady confused. She's like, "Who are all these men on your wall?" I'm like, doesn't matter." Good Kid, Mad City, Damn, Section 80, Mr. Morale, and the Small Steppers.
Dang, bro. Goodness. Honestly, I think mine is the same, but I think Section 80 would be above Damn.
Damn,
I love Section 80, man,
it's
and
great.
that's
And
just I
Rigor
remember
Mortis
it
is one of my
yeah.
favorite songs ever.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
there's so many tracks that I run back from there, and that was young Kendrick, and I remember the Section 80 to Good Kid, Mad City period. Oh my god, I was literally in 8th grade. I
yeah,
remember it so clearly, like, my goodness. But you guys let us know what you think. Where does Kendrick
yeah.
rank of
Tell
all
us.
time? And does he have the greatest run in hip hop? If you made it to the very end, we appreciate you. Make sure you like, subscribe, rate us 5 stars if you're listening through streaming. Am I missing anything, Adam?
Nah, tell us what you guys
Nope.
think.
Yes, sir. And we are out.
Peace.